on Dazzle TV, and he had some things going on, and he ended early, so I thought I would hop on here and say good morning to everybody, and we're going to talk about just something that I'm curious about. Let me fix my messages there. So it's early, late for those people across the pond, so to speak. Early here in the Philippines, and it's not that early. It's 8 o'clock. Sorry for the noise in the background. I'm doing laundry. I got on my clean but stained shirt. I think that's from bleach. I'm not sure. That's from my coffee this morning, which I'm still drinking, and that's what we're going to talk about. We'll talk about what's your favorite coffee in the morning, or do you drink tea? I was really into tea, but now I started drinking this coffee here that Gino drinks, and hey Norm, good morning, man. I decided to hop on here because Gino's not on there this morning. I know a lot of people like to watch him, so I'm hoping, hey, maybe I can never fill his shoes. That's for sure. Gino's Gino, and I'm not that nice. I'm just not as nice as Gino is. Maybe that's the Army in me. Maybe if I was in the Air Force, I'd been nicer. But I'm just kidding. But it's all good. So the topic this morning is, what's your favorite coffee? I don't want to say favorite drink, because then we'll start going into alcohol and all that kind of stuff. And I don't want to do that. And of course, right next to me here is my best friend. My best friend and giggler. Well, she giggles. It just cracks me up. Oh, now she's trying to act like me. I didn't do that. Oh, I just got kicked in the... What's up with the abuse? Elder abuse. Oh, my goodness. Now, she's really laughing. But good morning to you, Norm, and good morning to everybody else. There's 2 people showed up. There's 3 thumbs up. I love it. That's great. That's good odds right there. And I'm one ahead. That's great. It'll push this live stream out there. I just got back from Boracay yesterday. Short trip, but felt like a long trip. And it's all good. Norm says, I'm drinking tea now. Only have coffee when in the office. Yeah, and hey, Henry Broussard, Humanity, dark roast coffee. Where's that from, Henry? I never heard of that. There's probably going to be a lot. You got to remember, I haven't really been back to the U.S. much in the past almost 12 years. 11 and a half to 12 years. And I've only been back to the U.S. during that time 3 times. And the last time was when my mom passed away. So that was... No, I'm sorry. Not when my mom passed away. It's when my dad passed away. And it's been over 6 years, and I believe over 6 years. So I don't even know I don't know what the culture is like in the U.S. now, except for what I see, and it doesn't look good. It really didn't look good after that State of the Union address, man, with all the Democrats not standing for fellow Americans, not standing for heroes, just because Trump brought them in there. It just blows my mind. I know we're not supposed to talk about politics. I'm not talking about politics. I'm just talking about humanity and being respectful to people that have paid the debt and have paid their dues. I feel like I paid my dues, okay? Not too many people did the job that I did. And you know what? God bless and utmost respect for those that were in the field, in corrections and going to prison every day to keep people locked up that want to hurt you or hurt society. Kudos to them. Now, granted, there's some people in there that maybe shouldn't be in there, but they're there. And so they have to act accordingly, and we have to treat them fairly and do what we're supposed to do. Henry also says, and Louisiana coffee. Man, there's a lot of things, a lot of ways I think I could go when you say Louisiana coffee, but that must be a brand. I can think of a lot of others. Excuse me. Breakfast of Champions here. Hey, good morning, Tamara. Tamara. I know I'm saying it wrong, but I've seen you here. Welcome back. Welcome to the Colonels Chronicles. I appreciate it. Appreciate having you all here. And good morning to you. 5 likes. Yeah, I'm up to 7 likes. I'm showing 9 people. That's great. Love to have you guys here. We're talking about what's your favorite coffee. Look, I'm doing a little, what's your favorite coffee? And Mega love shout out from thank you. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Norm says, I'm a simple guy. Nescafe blend 43 would do for me. I also have a bunch of Copica Blanca 3-in-1s that I brought back from the Philippines last October. I tell you what, I love the Copica Blanca. It's all sugar. That's probably why I like it. But you know, somebody gave me the Copica Brown, and believe it or not, that's good coffee too. Copico, they have the blend down. They have the right amount of sugar and everything in it to make people want to come back and drink more. I think that's why it's so popular over here. But I'm not opposed to Nescafe either. And after being in that hotel with the little pod machine, the Nescafe, I might buy one of them jokers just for the convenience. Although this Copica is pretty convenient. Boil the water, dump the powder in your cup, and put the boiling water in. Because I use a hot pot here, and it heats up the water in just a couple minutes. A few minutes, it's ready to go. But that little Nescafe pot, that's instantaneous. Of course, you got to take the time to put water in the reservoir. But so Nescafe Blend 43. So Norm, is that really good? I mean, that's straight black, right? I might have to try that too. I don't know. Henry says yes. Community coffee, dark roast. I've never heard of that, Henry. Community coffee. I have to see. You know, I need to write some of these down so I can. Hold on, folks. Let me get my little pen and paper here and write some of these down. Oh, and you know what? I went to Boracay and I forgot to check out some of these places. Because I left my list here at home. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, you told me Community Coffee before. Followers Coffee and Sunnyside Cafe in Boracay. I didn't go there. Now I'm upset. I didn't check that out. I knew I was forgetting to do something. I knew it. But I got Community Coffee written down, dark roast. But I got Nescafe blend, Nescafe blend. Here we go, blend 43. So we got to check that out, folks. I'm getting on my coffee. I've been drinking tea for a long time now, and I like Earl Grey, and then I drink just the plain old Lipton because that's what they sell over here, and they sell that in Thailand too. But now, I splurged a little bit and bought Earl Grey because I like that with the bergamot flavor and stuff. But I'm getting into the coffee again. I used to drink coffee like crazy. When I worked, especially when I worked at the detention center, Philadelphia, or even down there in Jessup, Georgia, because as a lieutenant, I was working during the night, and it was hard as all get. I ain't gonna lie to you, it was hard to stay awake. And it was nothing for me to drink 1 to 2 pots of coffee in one shift, which is just insane amount of caffeine. But that's what we did. Stay awake, And how you been doing, Colonel? From Henry. Henry, I'm doing great. I got my new best friend right here, and she's trying to keep me honest and keep me straight, aren't you? She's not. Yeah, she's acting like she's not listening to anything I'm saying, but I know she hears all of it. Typical Filipino. You know how they do? They act like, okay, she doesn't hear, she's not listening. They listen to everything that we say, and everything that we do. So, guys, watch your words. That's all I'm gonna say. But I'm doing pretty well, Henry. God blessed me with another day. I woke up, got my 6 hours last night of sleep, maybe a little bit long. Sweetheart, what time did we go to sleep last night? You remember? Was it 11:30? Yeah. Okay, so I got 6 hours. That's about all I get. My body wakes up almost on the dot at 6 hours. It's just the way it is. BJT says hello. Nope, never have had gout. BJT, hi Colonel. Norm, when I got home, but I understand gout's painful, but I've never experienced it. When I got home, I've had friends that have though. I had Copica Blanca coffee and Sky Flakes for breakfast for a week. All right, Norm, I've never done the Sky Flakes, man. I haven't done Sky Flakes. That's all good. Blend 43 is just instant. I don't like black coffee. Oh, so it's like a 3-in-1 or it's got cream in it. Okay. Yeah, normally when I was just drinking coffee before, I just drink straight black coffee, and I used to be into the Dunkin' Donuts coffee because I would drive by one on the way to work, into work, and I'd stop and get a coffee. And then I had a friend of mine. He picked me up a large Dunkin' Donuts coffee, but man, it had cream in it, it had sugar, it had all kinds. I was just like, man, I appreciate that, Chad, but I don't drink that foo-foo coffee, man. So what am I doing? I'm drinking Copica Blanca, which is that's straight up foo-foo coffee right there. I'm drinking it, and I'm enjoying it. It's all good. It's all good. Henry said, yeah, do that too, Colonel. I want to take my list with me, but I leave, and it's a little too far to go back. Hey, that's the way it is, man. Sometimes you're just like, I got it. I just forget it. And I don't know what. It's taking forever to dry. That little wet spot there. Hey, Trish is in the house. Hey, Trish, good morning to you. Good afternoon, whatever it is down there in the land of Norm, Oz. Yeah, Stone Cold, Darren. But yeah, it's all good. Norm says, I can't remember the brand of the machine in the office, but it grinds the beans and makes whatever coffee you want. That's cool. Now, honestly, I ain't gonna lie to you. I looked at those machines when I lived in Thailand, and I was seriously gonna buy one because I was also thinking about investing in a little coffee shop, and I wanted to do it right. And I actually, believe it or not, it's as crazy as I am, I wanted to get my own roaster, and I was gonna call my buddy there in West Virginia who has the Colombian coffee farm down there in Colombia, where his daughter's married to the guy, and they're bringing the beans up to the U.S. And I was going to call him to find out, what it would take and what all is involved if we were to import his coffee beans over here to the Philippines. I'd hate to see what I have to pay to make that happen, if you know what I mean. But I just thought about it and have my own roaster. And that was when I was in Thailand, not the Philippines, but Thailand. And I thought, yeah, that would be really cool. Because I used to go into this restaurant for a breakfast buffet. It was actually a fitness spa, but I think they also had some rooms, and they had this huge restaurant and stuff. So it's like a resort spa type resort thing. And they did yoga and all kinds of that foo-foo stuff. And yeah, but they had their own coffee bean roaster, or actually, they're the cherries. They bring the cherries in. They call them cherries, and they roast them in whatever type blend they want to roast. It was pretty cool, and I thought, man, I'd like to invest in one of those machines. Maybe you could have some kind of, but there's probably not a lot of money in that. I don't know, but it was something. It was just something I was thinking about. Yeah, Henry says, that's what we did, working all short drunk, a lot of coffee. Yeah, it's instant, but I add milk so you can have black if you want. Oh, okay, Norm, I got you. Oh, we're losing the audience, so I guess coffee was a boring topic, but it's all good. Got 9 thumbs up. I'm happy with that. Welcome, everybody. Or is my stream circling? Did I lose the stream? Maybe that's why everybody's leaving. Somebody let me know, is my live stream coming across okay? Can you hear me? Am I pixelating? What's going on? And Lone Star White saying, it's all good. Okay, Lone Star. Let's see. Norm says you need to create a Google Notes list so you can access the list from your laptop or phone. I create them for my Philippine trips, and you can even mark the line off as complete. Yeah. I can do that with my phone, Norm, and I only have to do that. I have a stylus on my phone, and when I pull the stylus out, I can just tap on it and it brings up notes, and I can write notes in my own handwriting to myself, and I just say it, and I just bring them up, and I can put a line through them, as I do it. But the Google Notes sounds like a good idea too, and I think I actually have that on my phone already, but I don't use it. Norm says the stream is fine. Okay, now I just saw the viewer. I was way up, and then it just dropped way down to almost nothing. So I thought maybe I lost the live stream. There's James and Karen. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, James and Karen. Yeah, I don't know if you guys were going live or not. So, but if you were, just go ahead and do it. And I was just picking up where Gino left off because he had to leave early. I saw you were in there, and it's all good. And just trying to spread some positivity, recovering from the put the laundry in from the Boracay trip, got that going, and I showing my girlfriend, how the Colonel, how he works so hard when he does his laundry. I had to show her. I wanted to teach her how, so that she knows when I'm telling her, messenger, that telling her that I have to do laundry. And I want her to know all the work, the hard work that I put in when I carry my laundry basket out to my machine and dump it in and push the start button. She was laughing at me. Not laughing now, but she just thinks I'm ridiculous. But yeah, so I was trying to show her how hard it was, and so she knows. And I said, now the hardest part for me doing laundry is, after it's dry, having to sit down and fold that stuff. I hate doing that. But that's the way it is. It's all good. Good morning, James and Karen. That's from Henry Broussard. Lone Star just bounced here after Gino. I appreciate that, Lone Star. Thanks for coming in. And everybody else. Totally appreciate that. Norm, yeah, I have an old S23 Ultra and use the stylus for notes as well. Yeah, this thing's great. Sometimes, I'll be honest with you, I forget I have it. I forget I have it. And, that's just the way it is. James says, no live. I want pancakes. Hey, I offered pancakes this morning because I still got some of that Hungry Jack mix. And, one where you just add water. And we made waffles out of it yesterday. And today I thought, I just give you. But she wasn't hungry, so we're not doing that today. Maybe later. Norm says, hey, James. Oh, Hannah came over here. Hannah, I said good morning to you over there on Gino's, Hannah. I don't know if you saw that or not. But thanks for coming over here. Appreciate that. And that's the Hannah. I think that's one of James's friends from in Missouri there. She got quite the little farm going on over there. And she's working there at that place that James worked too. I don't want to mention the name. I've heard some hellacious stories about working at that place. Excuse me. James says, hello, Norm. Lone Star putting that camel washing machine to work today. Nah, I got a Whirlpool, but it's one of the modern Whirlpools. No, it's not the one with the two little wooden rollers up top where you have to crank it, push it. Anybody ever have one of those? I remember them back in the day when I was a little boy, lived with my foster parents. It's got the big steel tub or cast iron tub. I don't know. Yeah, I remember those old machines. I remember foster mom like, oh, don't get your fingers near there, because they're so worried you get your fingers rolled through there and smashed. And they don't even make those anymore, but those are the good old days. Hey, Lou. Good morning, Lou. Say, Colonel, how is your Friday morning? It's great, Lou. My girlfriend's visiting here for another day. She goes home tomorrow, and a little sad about that. She's probably happy, but look at I got an evil eye for that one. But yeah, we're gonna get her out of here tomorrow and back home safely, I hope. And it's quite a trip for her to get home from here. I'm not gonna lie to you, so I get a little concerned about her safety on the way back to where she lives, because like Bella says, she lives over there in the wild, wild west, and she knows what she's doing. She's not a little kid. She knows what time it is, and she knows how to get to where she needs to go. Plus, she doesn't tolerate a lot of stuff, folks. I ain't gonna lie to you. This lady here, you don't want to get on the bad side of this one. She'll set you straight. Ain't no fighting here, folks. I don't do that anyway. Besides, I'd win. She didn't like telling you. All right. But anyway, good morning, Lou, and everybody else. Thanks for being here. There's only 4 people in here, so let's make the best of it. It's all good. James and Karen said, James said, hello, Hannah, the Missouri farmer. Absolutely. Hey, Skip. Good morning, brother. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you being here. He says, hey, Colonel. That's a good friend of James and Karen. And I've actually had the privilege of video calling with Skip. He was on a call with James, I guess, and I got to go over there, say hi, and meet him, face to face, so to speak, on the video. And we're waiting for him to come over here to the Philippines where we can actually meet in person and have some fellowship and have some conversation and just become close friends. Looking forward to that, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate you being here. Lone Star says, I always tell my wife, I will wash them if she will hang them to dry. I kind of like that deal. You know, hanging them doesn't bother me. It's folding them. So I'm like, I'll do all that stuff. Just you fold them. But then, being the anal person that I am, I like my clothes folded a certain way. But I'm getting a little bit more not so crazy about that. Because I'll be honest, some of these women, especially over here, the way they fold clothes is like, it's professional. I'm like, why not let a professional do it? But see, I pride myself on being, because I fold my shirts exactly a certain way, fold my boxer shorts a certain way, because I was military. And it's carried with me my whole life. And it's all good. Good evening, Skip from James and Karen. Hi, Jim from Hannah. Yeah, Hungry Jack is so good. Yeah, and it's so convenient, James. That's what I like about Hungry Jack pancakes. And that's what I like about Copica blanket, too, man. You just get a little packet, tear it off, and it tears off real easy because it's already pre-cut. Just put that in the cup, put the boiling water, and you're good to go. And that's how I started out the live stream. We're talking about what's everybody's favorite coffee. Okay? What is your favorite coffee? And that's what we were talking about, because I'm trying to get new ideas. I got several names down here, and I'm a little upset. I forgot to go to the Sunnyside Coffee Cafe or whatever while I was over there in Boracay. I didn't have my list with me. That's why I forgot. So maybe next time, if there's a next time, I don't know. We'll see. James says, poor Hannah puts up with a lot at that place. Hey, James, I think from the stories you've told me, I think everybody puts up with a lot of stuff in that place. I thought working in the joint in the prison was bad, but oh my goodness, you know, working at that place, that sounds like something else, you know. Now, it sounds to me like half the staff are criminals anyway, who they're hiring. So, yeah, that's crazy. Hannah says, hi, Skip. Henry says, oh yeah, I remember the old machine. Yeah, those old machines with the rollers at the top, and you Skip. I guarantee you, Skip remembers them. I guarantee you, Skip knows what I'm talking about. You know, I guarantee you, when he was a youngster, that's probably the kind of machine. If they even had a machine, that's the kind of machine they had. I mean, I don't know. Well, I don't remember. Maybe Skip. Maybe they didn't, Skip. Sorry, we were at Nabas yesterday. I'm probably saying that wrong. And yeah, James and Karen, they were near where I was, and we kind of I think we passed each other. And I was in one of those white vans, James. The nice white vans. Let's see. Yeah, I got Marissa an automatic washing machine. This is from Norm. No having to swap tubs, etc. Yeah, but you know, Norm, for the Filipinos, some of them, they're so used to doing it by hand, man. When you give them a machine, they're like, what am I supposed to do with that thing? You know? I know James, he got Karen a machine, but she's still washing them by hand, I believe. I think she likes the spinner, though. I used to hate those spinners because you put the clothes in there, and the old Filipino Asian machines they sell over here, and it's pop, 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 and you're thinking it's going to tear the machine up until it gets all equaled out, you know. It's like when you have a tire in a car that's not balanced, and you get that wobble till you reach a certain speed, and the wobble goes away. But those spinners are the same way in those machines. But I tell you what, they spin your clothes better than the spin cycle in my machine. But those little plastic washing machines they sell over here, you put that in a spinner, those clothes come out almost dry. I was impressed with that. So I don't know, you know. And I kind of like the hands-free. Just put the stuff in there, put the detergent in there, push the button, walk away, come back and hang it up. It's all good. How did you like Boracay? This is from James. Well, I was doing my stream last night about that, James, and you know, on one hand, Boracay is very, very beautiful and everything. On the other hand, it's so commercialized and people always in your face. The hawkers trying to get you to spend money, trying to get you to eat seafood, trying to get you to island hop, trying to get you to parasail. I felt like I was back in Thailand, to be quite honest with you. And that's why I've never been in a hurry to go to Boracay, because been there, done that, seen all that, got tired of it. But on the positive side, that's a beautiful place. You can sit there in the morning, drink your coffee, eat your breakfast, and look out and see the surf, well, it's not a heavy surf, but see the water in the white sand beach. So it's absolutely beautiful. So if I go back there again, um, I will go up further. I'll go up to Station 3. I'll go up to where there's less people. I don't need to be down where the commercialization is because, quite honestly, I just don't care. I don't care about all that touristy stuff. I just want to enjoy the scenery, things like that. And I didn't get a chance. I was upset because I didn't get a chance to live stream while I was there. It just didn't work out for the stuff that we were involved with and whatnot. It just didn't work. So I was disappointed about that, and disappointed about people keep shoving pictures in front of my face when I'm trying to walk. Did I keep my composure? Yeah, I kept my composure really well until KFC. Then I lost it in the KFC, and I embarrassed her a little bit. But just being myself, and felt bad about it afterwards. But Boracay was okay, James. It is what it is. I think if I lived in Cataclan or I lived in Kalibo, I probably would go there a whole lot more. But what a long trip from Iloilo to get there by vehicle. And you're gonna laugh at this, but my friend Mark, he said, "Dude, we got to find a different way back." He goes, "I'm gonna rent a helicopter." And I'm looking at him like, "Are you joking?" I said, "You're joking, right?" He goes, "No, man, I'm serious." I said, "Man, you're gonna be able to do that." I said, "That's gonna be like whatever thousands of pesos." And he said, "I don't care." I said, "Well, honestly, I don't care either. If you can pull that off," I said, "I'll pay half of it just to go from there, Cataclan, back to Iloilo, so we don't have to ride in that van." And he's like, "Yeah, let's do it." I'm like, "Okay, you work it out." He couldn't work it out. But you know why I'm laughing, James, about the helicopter. That was funny. Where is the girlfriend from? Lone Star. She's from the Philippines. Skip says, "Happy Friday, James and Karen." Hey, Hannah from Skip. Skip's still here. I appreciate that. I appreciate all. Wow, 11 people in here for this live stream. That's awesome. I appreciate each and every one of you, taking time out of your valuable day to be here and with me. And I think she fell asleep. And at 75, I've pretty much seen it all, brother. Yeah, Skip. I don't know if you remember those old laundry machines. That's what we were talking about when laughing. But I hear you. It's funny though too. Just when you think you've seen it all, we see something else. And we're like, "Oh man, now I've seen it all." I don't know about you, but that's how I feel sometimes with that. Hey, Brian. Good morning. Good morning, Colonel. Brian's here in the house. Appreciate you being here, brother. That's great. Norm had one of those roller machines when I was a kid, but never got to play with it. Dude, I remember, I'm calling you dude, sorry. I remember getting in the tub, and I remember getting in so much trouble for doing that. When we were getting in it, let's spin this thing around. Yeah, I think we got our butts beat for that. We got spanked for that. And, oh well. James says, "Happy Friday, Skip. Going out into the jungle Saturday for a long mountain hike." Hey, have fun with that, James. Be safe, man. You guys be safe out there on those motorbikes, going up on those rocky and dirt roads and whatnot up there at Ackland. Twin tubs. The twin tubs. I don't remember. I don't think we had a twin tub one. I don't think we had that kind, Brian. But I believe it. That was probably the advanced model. We had the original one. Remember the washboards? I remember my grandmother with the washboards. True story. I remember. And anyway, yeah. Skip says, "You guys be careful. No death wishes. I worry about you guys sometimes." Skip, I do too, man. I seen James on his motorbike. I get worried sometimes too. I get worried about myself, let alone that. Norm, it took me 2 years to convince Marissa to get a washing machine. I think Noah helped. Also ended up winning with the ref in the microwave. Yeah, sometimes, Norm, it's just when we're asking people to get away from what they're used to, and especially if it's a machine or device that they're not familiar with, they haven't used, they didn't grow up seeing it, didn't grow up using it. There's a learning curve, and there's an adjustment period. I think once they experience the convenience themselves, and I'm not talking about us using it and it's the convenience for us and them seeing how we use it and it's convenient, it doesn't affect them until they actually experience it. Now you got some people out there and some women out there, they just enjoy hand washing their laundry, their clothes. Why, I don't know, but maybe it's therapy for them. I don't know. I don't get it, but some of them, they just love doing that. Um, but back to what I was saying, microwaves, refrigerator, things like that. And the thing with the refrigerator, a lot of people over here in Thailand, they don't have them. So when you talk about getting one, they're like, why? Why do I need one? I'd rather just let my food sit out on the table all day with a little screen cover to keep the flies off of it, creating bacteria concoctions and whatnot, and come back later and eat it. So, but no, she's ignoring all this, and it's okay. But yeah, so it's new, and until they actually experience it and feel the ease or feel the benefit of having the machinery, the refrigerator, a washing machine that does all the work for them, it doesn't really affect them. It doesn't affect them mentally of like, hey, that would be a great tool to have, because that's all they are. They're tools. It's just, for me, why do I want to use a screwdriver and hand do a screw when I can take my little, my rechargeable driver, be done. Maybe it's because I'm lazy. I don't know. James says, we will be okay, Skip, don't worry. Karen and I are not hot house flowers. Well, I don't know, James. No, just kidding. Yep, I agree about Boracay. That's why we always stay at Station 3. Well, Brian, I wanted to go to Station 2 where all the hubbub was, just so I can say, been there, done that. Don't need to do it again. But I did, I wanted to eat at a couple of other restaurants, and I did go to the Amigos restaurant. I enjoyed that food immensely. I would go back there again. I enjoyed the Mexican food. I saw Ole. That's where rock and jazz were. We didn't eat in there, but I saw it and I was like, I haven't even checked that. But we didn't go in. We changed our minds and did something else. So there's places I wouldn't mind going back, but I don't want to stay. I don't want to stay in that area. However, that hotel that him and what was the one we were Regency or what? That was beautiful. That was a nice hotel, and the staff were fantastic. The whole experience, as far as the hotel goes, that was fantastic. No complaints at all. Even if I'd stayed in just the basic room, I believe that hotel would have been just outstanding. It was nice. And Lone Star said, if you go back to Boracay, be sure to go to, hold on, Dennywood Beach. Very quiet. Well, that's what they say about Puka Beach too. I'd like to check out Puka Beach. That looked really quiet and really nice. But I have to remember that. Let me write that down. Dennywood Beach. Which side is that on? Which side is that on, Lone Star? Excuse me if I'm going to write that down. Yeah, so because I'll forget. Alrighty. Back to the chat. Norm says, yeah, too many touts on Boracay. Tired of saying no thank you. Yeah, Norm, it gets tiresome. For me, I just felt like I was back in Thailand, except, I was saying no thank you, instead of saying my cup, my bin like cup, my bin like cup, my cup. And, which is basically saying no in a polite way. Or I'm okay. But yeah, it gets old. It's just, and honestly though, I will say this, they were pretty polite about it. It wasn't like some of the beggars that just get in front of your face, and even after you say no, they're still there asking the same thing. Most of these people, you say no thank you, they leave you alone. They respect that. I think they've learned, and they know that, some of the foreigners can get hostile about it. And, everybody wants to, Boracay, chill out, be chill, And the other thing I did like too, is that, there was some live music and stuff like that, but nothing obnoxiously loud, and that was, and maybe that's out of respect for the other businesses that have bands also. I don't know. Maybe they have an agreement amongst themselves. So none of the music was totally obnoxious for me. And I know I'm showing my age by saying that, but oh well. It is the way it is. Brian says, you still get the odd vendor, but nowhere near the numbers. Oh, I'm sure. No matter where you go, you're going to get... you could be on a beach by yourself with your significant other, and out of the trees are going to come somebody selling sunglasses or something, It's just the way it is. Lone Star. The beach bar there is really good. Okay, I don't go to the bars, Lone Star, to be honest. I'm not a bar person. But yeah, some of the beach bars they look really nice. And I might go to get, a Coke or something like that. But yeah, sitting at the bar, it just, honestly, folks, sitting at a bar does absolutely nothing for me. It doesn't excite me. It doesn't make me want to be there. It doesn't make me want to chill out there. It's just not my thing. But if it's your thing, go for it. It's just not my thing. I don't criticize people for doing what they're doing. Now that little bar at the swimming pool at the hotel was kind of cool because it was in the swimming pool, and the stools were at the swimming pool. So so to sit there kind of in the swimming pool and have a Coke or something, that might have been okay. That would have been okay. James Karen, let's go to Bararunga or Bararungao. What? Bararunga. I think. Now, Colonel, very few people, very amazing place. You can live stream all day. Now, I tell you what, James, I was behind was it a van yesterday? Bus? No, it was a van. It was the Barangay from Bararunga, or however you say that. Bararungao. Runga. I'm sorry, I'm butchering that. Bararunga. It was their emergency vehicle from the barangay there. And I thought of you because I heard you mention that name before. We're going to go. Do you want to go? And I thought of you, man. We followed that thing for a long time. I don't know where they were going, but Brian says, so yeah, no problem, James. I'm game. But I got to come up there and stay overnight and recover at your place before I go somewhere else on another long trip. Because I'm getting worse and worse on that. Or maybe I'll bring the multi-cab up there. I don't know. Learning to say agua corta is your friend, Brian. Yeah, I've never said that. Norm, I preferred White Beach on Boracay over Alona Beach on Bohol. Now, I haven't been to Bohol, so I can't even give an opinion on it. I just take your word for it. Norm on that one. James says, don't start the helicopter thing again. No, James, that happened, man. All joking aside, we seriously talked about it, and I wanted to record that to show that, hey, we got on the helicopter. Now, they were doing helicopter rides. I tell you what, folks, you want to get on a helicopter in Boracay, you're going to be forking out $100 just to start out for 10 minutes? Yeah, buddy. I didn't need to get on that little black helicopter for that. But I sure would have loved to take a helicopter from there back to Iloilo and avoid that long van ride. And I tell you, the road's rough. On a motorbike, it's not so bad, but you get in a four-wheel vehicle and that road, Cataclan all the way back to Iloilo, that's a chore right there, brother. That's something else. But no, James, I wasn't trying to start anything. We legitimately were talking about that, and I had to laugh at my friend Mark. He's wondering why I'm laughing. Then I explained to him why I was laughing about that, and that wasn't. No, you hear that? Yeah, the laundry machine's done. Skip says no more KFC for a while. Jollibee here in Vegas for lunch. Tomorrow, getting ready for the Philippines. Yeah, Skip, if you're eating a Jollibee, you're getting ready for the Philippines. I don't even go into Jollibee unless, I go into Jollibee for a pinch. Now, some people love Jollibee, and more power to them. My lady here, she's not a Jollibee. She's not a Jollibee lady. And I'm so thankful for that. Every time I offer Jollibee, she's like, no. Of course, that's everything I offer. She's like, no. Well, okay, she's sleeping. She was moving. I thought she was awake, but her eyes are still closed. She's pretending that she's not listening to anything I'm saying. It's all good. Norm, hey, I'm at work, so getting paid to chat. Norm, you got it made, man. You got it made. You're getting to watch the Colonels Chronicles, talk to people like Skip and James and Karen and Brian and everybody. Oh, there's Lowell's in the house. But hold on, Lowell. Let me get to what Brian here. I reckon you could have a nice little business selling T-shirts with Juan Lampera on one side and Agua Corta on the other side. Hey, Brian, you keep that idea and you do it, man. You do it. Let us know how it works out for you. Lowell says, hello from Oregon. God bless, Lowell. Good to see you again, man. You're here another day. That's great. Skip says, remember Perry lines? can't talk on the phone until you, yeah, I remember that. Until your neighbor down the street gets off. That was even before rotary phones. And I'm getting old, 75 going on 40. Yeah, but you know what, Skip? I remember that. And I remember also getting on the phone and hearing other people talking. You remember that? You get on there and you can still, they were bleeding over into your, and you're like, what in the world? I remember that. Norm's laughing. Marissa still cooks rice in the morning and then leaves it covered on the table in the heat of the day while I point at the rest. Norm, she's trying to keep the rice warm for you in the sun, man. Okay? Trying to save electricity. The sun is keeping the rice hot for you. It's funny to us. It's not funny to them, but it's funny to. She's not laughing at all. She's just looking at me like, "Oh, you're making fun of us again." It's not meant. It's not about making fun of them or the culture. It's just things that we find funny because we do it differently. So we don't know what else to do, so we just laugh about it. Let's see. Brian says Puka has heaps of vendors. Really? Because the video I saw with Rock, I didn't see anything. So maybe I'll stay away from there. What's wrong, sir? You okay? Okay. She was moving about. I thought something was going on. Let's see. Oh, TM Womp's here. I hope the Colonel and his troops are all doing well. Hello, all. Thanks for doing the health and welfare check on us there, TM Womp. Appreciate you. Appreciate you being here. And thanks, folks, for all the thumbs up. That helps get the live stream out there into the YouTube universe here on YouTube. I appreciate it. And thank you. I'm still working on watch hours, folks. And the more watch hours I can get, the better off my channel is going to be. I'm still in the infant stage of this YouTube thing. And I'm just, I'm taking baby, like half baby steps as we go here. Because I need to improve on the quality of the content that I put out. And I guess they say that the live streams don't help you so much, but I enjoy the live stream. I think that's what I'm the best at. I'm not like James and Karen. They're very good at going out and making videos, making long form videos, recording content. They always got that camera going. They're very, very good at it and very motivated. I'm just not that motivated yet, and I apologize for that because there's a lot here in the Philippines that you could be recording and that you could be vlogging and stuff, and I need to do more of it. I'm just lazy. I'd rather sit here and talk to you and just speak what's on my mind, and you can speak what's on your mind. We don't always have to agree, but I enjoy doing it. I enjoy this stuff, and it doesn't bother me to sit in front of the camera or the phone, whatever medium that you're using to record or a live stream. I enjoy it. If somebody wants to sit here with me and talk back and forth, talk over each other, I enjoy that too. So it's we'll just keep doing what we're doing and see what happens. And if we're blessed, we're blessed. And if we're not in a positive way, then we're not. It's that's just the way it is. That's life. But I appreciate you, TM And Brian says it used to be ridiculously loud with every bar competing. I'm happy to hear they toned that down. It may be like that, Brian, but it wasn't like that when I was there. It may still be like that, but I didn't see it. But I wasn't out every night, all night either. I probably went to bed too early for all that. It probably later on it got like that. I don't know. But I didn't hear it in the hotel. So that was a good thing too. By bus is much worse, Colonel. Well, Brian, that's why we didn't take the bus, man. Because I know about the Sarah's buses. And I fight getting around those buses when I'm on the motorbike because I don't want to be anywhere near those jokers. The way they drive, and not to criticize, but I tell you what, those are some of the most disrespectful drivers on the road are the drivers of the Sarah's buses. And if their management ever wanted to ask me or interview me about it, I'm going to tell them straight up, yeah, your drivers are the worst as far as being disrespectful to other people on the roadway. Because the Sarah's bus, I know they got to get to where they're going and whatnot, but they are so disrespectful, and they see you coming up to overtake them or whatever, they'll drift over so you can't get by, so you can't see around them. But they'll drift the other way if you're trying to go undertake on those. Yeah, it's, they don't need to do that. Let people go around you. If they're driving faster than you, let them go around you. Because more than like, and then you got the ones that, the serious, but they go around you, because for whatever reason, and then boom, they immediately drift over and stop to pick up somebody. And you're like, was that really necessary for you to overtake me just to slam on the brakes and stop to pick somebody up that I know you saw from back there before you passed me? These kind of questions that foreigners ask when they come to the Philippines or to Thailand. It's the same thing in Thailand. And it's all, but yeah, the buses are much worse. That's why I didn't want to do that. And I knew it would take forever. Norm says, Grumpy B. I'm grumpy sometimes. I ain't gonna lie. I won't lie. She knows Norm says, she knows I won't eat stuff that's been left in the heat. So she always cooks me a fresh cup. Aw, Norm, that's so sweet. See, the Filipinos, when they're not in their dangerous mode where you need to be careful, where you're treading on thin ice, because ice don't last long in the Philippines, so you're gonna go under, but then they have this incredibly sweet side, and I experienced the same thing. I mean, this one right here, she's got both sides of that coin too. I'm not gonna lie, she got both sides of it. It's just, we're, as foreigners, we're navigating all of that and doing the best we can to make sure we're on the upside and not underground, you know what I mean? So, I say that all jokingly, but yeah, it's good to have a good relationship with your girlfriend, your wife. As you can keep it on the good side, you're doing well, and you'll be a happier man. If you want to get away from vendors, Tambasaan is quiet. Okay, Brian, let me write that one down. Folks, bear with me a minute while I write this name down, because that's another one I never heard of. Tambasaan. Isaan. Okay, I'll have to look that up too. Check that out. Thanks, Brian. James is still here. James and Karen Adventures. And most of you know James and Karen, but I'm going to pin that at the bottom anyway, because I'm always trying to help them out. And there's their channel. You guys can check them out if you want. James says, I understand artists now, Colonel. Our YouTube videos are art. Okay. You say so. Now, it isn't, it's social media. So, yes, it's a type of art form. I agree with that. And I didn't look at it that way when I started it. But now that I've been doing it for a little bit, yeah, it's a production. And for me, I want to be authentic and I want to be real. But some of my antics, yeah, I'm a character, even in real life. I don't know, you ask James what he thinks, but I got a sense of humor. And I got a warped sense of humor. And sometimes, depending who I'm around, dictates how I act and whatnot. Like, when I'm with rock and jazz, I can act a lot younger than I am, because I get a lot of them. I got kids close to rock's age, and it's just, I kind of get it a little bit, and I can cut up and I can have fun, or I can be with somebody, just as an example, just Skip's older than me, so he's not going to be into the same things as, say, rock and jazz are. He's not going to talk like they do it. But you know what? I can relate to Skip, because Skip and I believe the same way about spiritual things, and so I can, I can be appropriate for the situation. And James and Karen, they're like in the middle. James is like an old man sometimes. When you listen to him talk, he talks about stuff. I'm just like, dude, I don't even talk about that stuff, man. Where are you getting that from? But it's all good. Everybody's different. That's what makes the world go round. I love it. But you're exactly right, James. I agree with you. And yeah, this is kind of a form of art in a way. Just like productions on TV and stuff, it's entertainment. And as long as we all remember that, now everybody has their own form of the way they want to present the entertainment. James and Karen, they do their thing with the vlogging and the family, the farm, all that kind. They do their thing. Levi from Future Farmers of Akron, he's doing the farming and he's doing some missionary work on the side. And he's putting it all, putting that on YouTube. Me, I get on here and I just talk about everyday things. I talk about how I'm feeling and what I think about something. Doesn't make me right, but I'm just sharing inside the mind, the warped, crazy mind of the Colonel, you know? And that's what we do. And yeah, exactly right. It's a medium, art medium that we're using. Actually, this is from Brian. Actually, there are some videos on my channel of Tam. I'll have to check that out, Brian. I'll have to check that out. Okay, I need to check that out. And I gotta remember to put that dash in between the name there. Yeah, okay, sorry about that, folks. I'm trying to remember something, but I know that I know I'm gonna forget. Those buses are the biggest reason for getting a powerful bike. I told you that before, James. Yeah. You know, that's why I missed my 300cc that I had in Thailand, because I could overtake anybody, just about over there. Now, so once in a while you get a Toyota or with a Ford Ranger truck and they want to show you that they're the baddest vehicle on the road and they don't want to let you pass them. So when they would see me coming up around them, they would speed up to let me know, hey, I'm still faster than you. I'm like, well, no, duh. Your motor's, twice the size of mine, but 3 times the size of mine probably. And so whatever, but yeah, you will when you upgrade the power on your XL, when it's an XL 250 instead of XL 150, you will notice a huge difference, my friend, a huge difference. And maybe, but Karen's still going to be poking you on the side or patting you. You're going to be still getting that little pat of like, slow down, slow down. And even though Karen does not drive slow, folks, don't let that little girl fool you. She is like speed racer on that little motorbike of hers. Because I've been behind her following, like, man, she's getting it. She ain't fooling around. I'm like, I'm going full throttle to keep up with my little 114cc bike with my heavy body on it. And, yeah, you need acceleration. Yeah, James, exactly right. And the 250 mod on the XR. Oh, here you're talking about it. I didn't get down to that, brother. Sorry about that. That ought to. Yeah, it's going to help you greatly for a lot of things. Just don't. And I'm not trying to say anything, but just don't let it get away from you, my friend. Just don't let it get away from you. It shouldn't, but just be aware you're talking almost doubling your power on what you got already. So it'll be a noticeable difference until you get used to it. Just be careful. Brian, LOL, I bet, James. Yeah, it'll make a big difference. Sometimes I just need to rock it around those boats. Yeah, I tell you what, when I'm riding with James, sometimes, folks, he hasn't gotten it yet because he's not used to two-up, or when I say two-up riding, side by side, and I'm used to it from being in the motorcycle club. But, what I do is I try to go all the way over to the right, or if I'm on the shoulder, and give him room. And what I'm trying to tell him to do is, hey, James, follow me. Come on over here with me, and we'll get around these vehicles together. And because his bike's stronger than mine, and but he gets stuck behind, and I'm way up, and I'm like, oh man, I left him again. And I'm not trying to do that, but what I'm trying to do is hoping that I see an opening that he doesn't see because he's all the way on the left lane, side lane. I'm over here on the right. I can see around things that he can't see necessarily, depending on the vehicle that's in front of him. So I'm trying to get, hey, follow me, man. So now sometimes I make hand signals like, come on, come on, come on. Let him know, hey, follow me. And sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. But, he's got Karen back there telling him, no, don't do it. Don't listen to him. Don't do it. And so it's a challenge sometimes. But that extra 100 cc's will make a huge difference for you. Skip's still here. Great. No YouTube in my future. For me, I feel it would tie me down. Going to travel big time and support major and minor philanthropic causes in the Philippines and around the world. And Skip, that's a blessing in and of itself. And just you having the ability to be able to do that, that speaks volumes about you and your family and how you view life. And you know what? In the 70s, there's no reason to do YouTube, man. And you're right. It can tie you down if you allow it to. I try not to allow it to tie me down. I'm not doing anything right now, so I'm live streaming. But if I'm going to do something or whatever, I'm not going to let YouTube dictate, I can't, I got to do this for YouTube, I got to do that. That's not me. And I've told James that before too, that it's just, part of it's laziness. The other part of it is I don't want it to become a job. Um, but I think, Skip, with what you've got going on and the things that you want to do and how much you help people and stuff, you're in the right place at the right time. You're doing what you need to do. And I think that's awesome. And God bless you for it. You know, and I mean, it speaks for itself. And just the fact that you're willing to help people and do things is just, and you know what, you're going to enjoy it. As long as you enjoy traveling, you're going to enjoy it. Because there's so many places to go to over here, so many things to see. Now you're going to notice a lot of towns, they all kind of look similar. It's like in Thailand too. The towns all look the same because they build the buildings the same way. And over here it's somewhat like that. But what I've noticed, different islands are different. Some of the scenery is the same, but the people and the culture on each island has its own little cultural base, and so it's interesting. You know, even like if I compare, I've been up to Vegan City, up there in the Loco Sur on Luzon, and compare that, come down here to Aklan, you know, or even Iloilo, it's totally different. The attitude there is very laid back, very chilled out, no crime, no one's trying to hurt anybody, do anything. Panay's a lot like that too. But up there you have all the Spanish influence, the buildings, the architecture and stuff. And the people up there are very proud of that. And I tell everybody about that laser light water fountain show that they have in Rizal Square in Vegan City is at 7:30 every night. That's just phenomenal. I could watch it almost every night. I could watch that show. It's that good and that professional. I'm sure after a while I might get tired of it because they play the same songs with the music. But it's awesome. It's worth it going there just to see that in my viewpoint. But I'm a simple man. Yeah, James said it. When Karen's driving, she moves. But Skip, there again, I just want to say this. I'm looking forward to meeting you, brother, and having to have some good fellowship with you. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. My list of future projects is a mile long with tons of fun along the way. Many of you will hopefully be beneficiaries of some of the traveling I'm going to do, all in God's timing, my friends. Absolutely, Skip. And I just said it. Yeah, I'd love to meet you. Love to hang out. We've talked about that a little bit, and I'm looking forward to that, man. I like to spend time with good people. I don't want to waste my life on people that are going to bring me down. We'll work on it, Colonel. Okay, James, man. You know, James, I just say stuff, man. You do you, my friend. You know, and it's all good. You know, it's all good. We just want you guys to be safe and not get hurt. Cause I've been down. I've been down on the bikes, man. You have too. But yeah. Yeah, I almost lost my life one time, and I was very fortunate and thankful to the good Lord that I walked away from that just with, a lot of road rash and a lot of pain, but nothing broken and nothing serious. That's really awesome, Skip, from James and Karen. Yeah, it is. And Tita Marie, I'm sorry, I saw you, Tita Marie, and I thought I said something, but I didn't. Tita Marie says hello. She's in the house. Good to have you here, Tita, and appreciate you stopping in. Wow, look at that. 18, I'm looking at the top of my screen there, just glanced up. 18 thumbs up. That's fantastic. That's great for my little channel. I appreciate y'all doing that so much. 13 people in here watching. I'm glad that you're getting some sort of value from this and whatnot. I really appreciate it. It's humbling, actually. And I appreciate it. Appreciate each and every one of you that's here for good reasons. Let's see. Jace. Right. Okay. Thank you. I assume you're talking about me. That's good. Simon's in the house. Ciota, farmer. Said, good morning, sir. Another salute from me. That's great. Good morning, Colonel. Morning, Mr. Colonel. Good to see you, man. It's funny. I just saw your icon at the top on YouTube there, and I was like, I haven't seen him in a while. I wonder how he's doing. So thanks for popping in and saying hello. Yeah, Skip says, only right hand salutes, Colonel. That is my right hand, brother. That's my right hand. Maybe it's the left for you, but it's maybe they're flipping it around. But that's my right hand. And I only salute with my right hand, man. I'm not doing the left. I'm doing the right. And maybe if I turn around, it'll be right. But that's my right hand. Your other right. Yeah. No, I did it, brother. That's okay. I'm sorry if it mixed up on the video. 'Cause I did notice that they do, YouTube does flip the screen on you with some things. So, back to my original thing. Skip, you drink coffee? When I first started this live stream, we were talking about what is your favorite coffee? That was the topic today of what coffee do each one of you like to drink and why, and which one do you think is the best? You know, because I still got a little bit of this very sweet Copica Blanca left. That's probably cold now, but it's all good. And I'm surprised. Well, we got one troll in here today. I thought there would be more, and but there's only one in here. That's okay. That's all right. Well, I'm at the bottom of the screen, folks. So I'd like to keep going, but I'd like to interact with each of you. I want to kind of get away from this sweet coffee, but I'm having a hard time with it. I probably need to go back to tea, but when I go back to the tea, then I put that sweetened condensed milk in it. So let me know what your all's favorite coffee is. Let me know. We can carry over from last night about Boracay too. You know, and James asked me how I liked it, and I think overall I really liked Boracay. I just don't like the traveling I have to do to get there. And if I had to do it again, I would make it a 2-day trip from Ilo, just because I can't travel like I used to. And Skip, if you're still in here, brother, where you're going to Manila first, or what? What's your do you have a tentative itinerary, or where you're going to travel first? You know, are you going to come down and see James and Karen, or are we going to come up and see you? Oh, there we go. Sorry, mixed up on the screen. My bad. Didn't know. 1 or 2 cups of coffee per day. I'm a Pepsi man. You're a Pepsi man. And it's sometimes San Miguel beer on a hot summer day. Yeah, I can't do the beer anymore. I like beer, and I drank San Miguel, but it's just the beer makes me sick for some reason. I can't do it anymore. Doesn't mean I don't like it, because I like the good beer. Now that's a good beer. I don't like a bad beer. I like the good beer, but I can't drink it anymore. And that's okay. And I'm a Coke person myself. I prefer Coke over Pepsi. I don't know why. Just I think because Coke has more of a bite than Pepsi. Pepsi is more of a sweet stuff, but it's all good. Sugar is an addictive drug, LOL. Tim. You're not lying about that, TM. Sugar is 100%, 150% addictive. I'm addicted to it too. I have gone through stages where I cut out sugar totally because I worry about the diabetes and whatnot. And it's not a good thing. It's not a good, not a bad thing to do. If you can lower your sugar or cut out the sugar altogether, it's great. Now, the times that I've done that, whenever I've come back and I'll drink a soft drink, I'm like, oh my goodness, that's sweet. That's all sugar. That's what happens when you get away from sugar. And that's also how you know you're addicted to it. Norm says, I fell asleep during your live last. Yeah, I'm sorry, Norm. I drone on with this monotone voice sometimes that puts people to sleep. Woke up around 2 a.m. and it was finished. Yeah, I wasn't on. Well, I was on there longer than what I planned. But we were kind of sitting here having a good time because she was over here giggling at me and laughing at some of the stuff I was saying. And then when she gets to laughing, I start laughing, and it's on after that. But TM wants, I had to reduce sugar intake. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good thing for all of us to reduce the sugar intake. And I need to get back to that, where just drinking water all the time is the way to go. But I like my drinks too. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. But I like my sugar and my sweet drinks. Some I wish weren't. Even when I mix up this stupid Tang we drink here in the Philippines, yeah, I'll drink half and then I'll fill it up again with water to where then it cuts it in half, and I feel like I'm doing something beneficial because I'm cutting the sugar in half. I'm probably not doing anything, but that's what I tell myself. It's all good. And Skip says no itinerary yet. Still okay. Lord's time, and hopefully soon. And I'll keep you all posted. Very excited about the future. Absolutely, Skip. We're excited to see you come over here and do what you need to do. And love to see you. I love to see other people helping people because I would like to help people too. And we're all at different stages of our life, whether it's socially, financially, or whatever. And I help people when I can. And it's just small ways, where I like to help people. And because, I might be blessed in some areas where other people aren't. And I'm definitely not philanthropist because I don't have that ability, and that's okay. That's we're all blessed in different ways by the good Lord, and but I try to be giving when I can. Sometimes I'm selfish. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I'm selfish, but if I have the ability to help people, I most definitely that's what I want to be doing is helping people, and I like to be serving, and I like to be the kind of person that, um, do you need help with something? Do you need money for something? I like to do that. Now I don't have the big ability to do that, and that's where one of my friends misunderstood that too, where made a comment the other day on a live stream I heard. I was kind of a little dismayed because I'm like, nah, you totally don't get me, brother, and with the idea of I want to be part of his business. No, I don't want to be part of your business. I don't want to take any business away from you, my friend. I was just offering you some assistance to keep you going, to get you jump started on what you were trying to do to try to help out. And I'm sorry that your ego made you misconstrue that I wanted to take something away from you or take some of your business away from you. Far from it, man. I don't want any part of your business. Not at all. But if as a friend, as a brother, if you need help from me, I'm there to help you, man, and that's what I wanted to do. And I'm sorry that your ego got in the way and allowed you to think something evil of me, because that's not at all. I don't want your business, man. Why would I want your business? I'm retired. I don't want to work. I don't want to work, man. Um, but I'm also not going to. I'm just going to stop talking because I don't want to say something inappropriate. Um, but anyway, yeah, that's not me. I would rather help people. I love helping people. I wish that I had the ability to help people more, but I don't. Um, but in my little small ways, if I can help people, I do. And I've actually, I've been hurt by that at times where sometimes I've been too giving, and that's not bragging about it. That's not my point here. But sometimes we hurt ourselves because we help people and then they take advantage because they don't realize, or they think that you're so kind-hearted that you're naive. Well, I'm not naive. That doesn't mean I don't still want to help people, because I do. Because you can get burned at times when you get the attitude, I'm not helping anybody. I'm not giving anybody anything. And that, I don't ever want to be like that. It's all good. But Skip, when you figure out, I know you already told us you're going to tell us. I was just curious, being nosy about if you decided where you want to go first and things like that. But listen, like you said, all in the Lord's time, and it's really none of our business, to be honest too. Kim, well, when I watched Filipino cooking, they always add sugar. Here in the West, it is much worse, in my opinion. Yeah, I haven't watched Filipino cooking in a good little bit, and like when I'm visiting James and Karen, I don't watch Karen anymore with the cooking. Now, when I was cooking with her and showing her stuff, I did a little bit, but her cooking is so good, I don't even pay any attention to it, to whether she's adding sugar or not. What I've noticed is they like to add MSG to everything, and I kind of wish that they wouldn't do that, because I need to stay away from that stuff. The salt is a silent killer for when you're hypertensive like I am, and you have high blood pressure. The salt's just not a good thing. But yeah, they do like the sugar, man. That's why I don't like the. Now I said this to my friend Mark. I told him, I said, that's why I don't like the spaghetti at Jollibee's, because it's sweet. I don't want the sweet. He's like, spaghetti we had at Jollibee, it was fantastic, it was great. It wasn't sweet at all. I'm like, well, I don't know what Jollibee that was at. Maybe I'm wrong, but the last time I had spaghetti at Jollibee, it tasted like it had a few spoonfuls of sugar in it. And I don't care for it like that. And that's all good. Yeah, Norm, magic syrup and everything. Yeah, isn't that the truth, buddy? Isn't that the truth, magic syrup? I know what that is. Yeah, magic syrup and everything. Yeah, hey, it tastes good. Let's not lie about it. It tastes good, but it's just so not good for you. And MSG is really, really bad for your health, and bad for you if you have high blood pressure. But it's it is what it is. It's all good. But so I still didn't. I mean, I only got a couple things on ideas on coffee at the beginning. I still wanted to hear some people. Is anybody? I don't think is anybody in the U.S. on here right now, besides Skip and You guys using your Keurig machine? I missed that Keurig machine, but that's why I was looking at that Nescafe machine at the hotel, and I didn't use it because I was drinking my Copica Blanca. But I'm seriously thinking about it. I might buy one of those things. I don't know, but I probably shouldn't be drinking all that. I don't know. It looked good, man. The idea of getting different flavored coffee and being able to try different brands and different types of coffee again, that kind of sounded interesting to me. That it might be something that I want to try. And but I don't know. We'll have to see. TM want salt and sugar, double whammy, hard on everyone, not just us old guys. Yeah, and if we had realized that if I'd realized that at a younger age, all that bodybuilding and stuff that I was doing when I was younger, if I'd stayed away from well, if I'd stay away from the sugar, I'll be honest with you. When I was younger and younger, I didn't do a lot of salt because my father had high blood pressure, so my mom always limited. She didn't use salt, and I got used to the cooking without it. And it wasn't until I became single that I started putting salt on stuff again. Why, I don't know. But even with my children, raising my kids, and being married in the U.S., I didn't use a lot of salt. I used a lot of black pepper now, but I didn't use a lot of salt, and just because I just was used to it without. But come over here to the Philippines, man, everything is salt. And same thing in Thailand, dude. Put soy sauce, and soy sauce is all salt. And they put it on everything, and I'm just like, I can't do salt like that. I still don't like to do a lot of salt, but I'm using more than what I used to. And that's one of the things too, where I don't like to eat KFC very often because they're over here in the Philippines. They're putting so much salt in their herbs and spices, and that chicken is so salty. And I'm done eating this. Like the rest of the day, I'm drinking water, like just to, because I'm craving. I'm thirsty all day from that salt from the KFC. It's rough. TM says never been a coffee drinker, but have tried some when visiting family and enjoyed it. Do you remember what kind you had there, Tim? Was it a certain brand? Was there some that was better than others? Skip says, like my Keurig machine. Yeah, I had a Keurig machine in Florida, Skip. I missed that thing. I like buying the cups and trying the different brands. Some, let's be honest, some's better than others. There was some of those cups out here, the coffee was absolutely horrendous. It was awful. And then there were others who were like, whoa, that's a good cup of coffee right there. I missed that little machine. Actually, the Keurig machine I had, it wasn't little, it was a big thing. Nescafe, now these machines over here, they're tiny, real slim, only about that tall, and they use the little pot. And the water reservoir is only enough for 1 or 2 cups of coffee, probably 1 cup of coffee, so you got to put water in every time. That's kind of annoying. Whereas the Keurig, you could put a lot of water in and get several cups without refilling it. But I might try it again. I'll see. But they're not cheap either. Those little pods. And then you got the people complaining about the ecology part of it. And what they sell, for the Keurig anyway. I even bought it. The ones where you can put your own grounds in there. It has a little screen, and you make your own little K cup, and it was reusable. And let's see, Tina Mom said, I have 5 sisters. God bless you, man. 5 sisters. Oh my goodness gracious. There's just so much I want to say to that, but I'm not going to. And they all have some type of coffee machine, like Keurig, single cup type. Yeah, they come in handy, man, for, if you're in a hurry and you just want a piping hot cup of coffee, it's the way to go, man. I'm not telling you it's good for you, but if you want a quick cup of coffee, you can't beat it. You're talking about a piping hot, steaming hot cup of coffee in seconds. It's awesome, as far as a time saver. But 5 sisters. Oh my goodness. I mean, I was in a house with my family with, 4 women and my son and I, and that was, oh my goodness, that was rough enough, but unbelievable. And you had 5 sisters, so you know what I'm talking about. Skip says, by the way, if we can't feed 100 people, let's see, Mother Teresa, if you can't feed 100 people, then feed 1. Amen. We all can do our part. It's all God's anyway, just giving us temporarily as stewards. Amen, Skip. Usually during holiday family dinners, pumpkin spice comes to mind. Wow. So pumpkin spice coffee. I want to say I've had that. But speaking of that, I liked it when Dunkin' Donuts would come out with those pumpkin donuts that they had. The pumpkin spice, man, those things were good. I love those things. It's like a pumpkin cake. Yeah, that was a great donut with the glaze on it. Yeah, you'll see over here, Skip, if you haven't seen it already. Over here, sometimes um, you can't say yes to everybody, and sometimes yes, there's poverty and whatnot, but sometimes the constant begging all the time. Uh, if somebody's in need and you help them, I think that's great, and that's one thing. But what happens is that person then is they're constantly in your face all the time, and then you realize it's not about because they're so hungry. It's about just that's their way of earning money, and that's frustrating sometimes, and it's hard to judge what's really going on. So it's a judgment call, but we can't all help everybody. We do what we can, and it's a judgment call, and I'm sure there's times where I've been less than hospitable to some people, and I'll probably have to answer for that. Say it, don't get quiet now. Growing up with them was tough at times. They're just a blessing now. Now, I didn't want to get into personal hygiene and things like that, TM. You got a house full of women, you got to deal with the mood swings and the monthly cycle and and everything that goes along with that, and it can be challenging. And I just be like telling my daughters, hey, I ain't got time for that, man. Go to you want to have that attitude, you go see your mother. Don't bring that attitude over here to dad, because I just don't want it. I ain't got time for it. Or more accurately, I don't have the tolerance for it. But yeah, I was trying to be polite there, TM. Brian's back. I had to do some work for a you make it sound like you don't work, man. Come on, it's okay. We're just talking about different stuff, and brought up the Keurig machine, and we had to talk about the sisters, and I still can't get her 5 sisters. That must have been. I tell you what, though, Tim. I bet when you guys have family get-togethers and stuff, that's pretty wild. I bet y'all have a really good time. Okay, thought maybe there you were. Okay, thought that maybe where you were thinking about going. Oh, you were polite. Yeah, I was trying to be polite, man, because there's a lot we could be rude about that. But I'm trying, family friendly channel, and but let's keep it real. Uh, Having that many sisters and women in one house, that can be a challenge. I'm not going to lie. You got to do a lot of praying to God for patience and whatnot around that many women. Oh my goodness gracious! And don't get it wrong, I love women, okay, and I loved having daughters, but actually I preferred daughters. But oh my goodness, I'd take my son any day over some of that nonsense. But it is what it is. But hey, that's the way God made us, and that's why we love women too. We love the good with the bad. Okay, Skip says the problem with poverty in the Philippines is that it's so systemic. We have to try to get to the root of the problem. It's so sad. Yeah, and unfortunately, and I could be wrong in this observation, but a lot of the root of the problem is that it's perpetuated by culture somewhat. Because I've always been a firm believer that life is about choices, and sometimes people say, well, they don't have a choice. Well, everybody has a choice, and sometimes we can do something about it, sometimes we can't, and sometimes they can, sometimes maybe they can't for a physical reason or whatever. But you're right, Skip. Brian says a sister would have been good. I don't know, Brian. I didn't have any sisters, and I don't regret it. He said maybe. TM1. I have one brother as well. Our family gathering are about 50 plus. Yeah, I tell you what, if I ever got together with just my family that I created, oh my goodness, I've got 4 children. I have 11 grandchildren. Two of my oldest 2 kids both have 4 kids apiece. And my middle daughter has two, and then my youngest daughter, she finally had one that I found out about from a photo on Facebook. Didn't even know. Didn't even know. But that's my kids. They like to keep things to them. They don't want dad to know about anything that's going on. But yeah, so if we actually got together, it's a big crowd already just with my immediate family, not counting anybody else. And back when I was married in the U.S. and I had a mother-in-law, she's at Christmas time, she would rent out the VFW hall and have a huge family reunion get together for Christmas and stuff. And she's passed away, so they don't do that anymore. That's kind of sad. That was kind of cool. We got together, all the cousins got to see each other, and I got to see all the in-laws, the brother-in-laws and sister-in-laws and stuff. And it was a good little party. Which is funny because a lot of them didn't get along, but for that one day, we all got together and pretended like we liked each other, and it was a pretty big party. They did it basically for my mother-in-law because it made her happy to do it. But yeah, it's a huge family. Big families are fun. There can be issues, but when they're not issues, it's a blast. That many people getting together, and you're all related, and it's just amazing. You look around like, wow, yeah, this is all family. It's a wonderful thing. Trying to watch while working on a $3 million order. Wow, Norm. Perhaps I should pay more attention to work. Yeah, Norm, that's a lot of money, man. Need to pay attention to that. Don't want to get you in trouble. We all have bosses, myself included. Even though I was the boss of a lot of people, I still had a boss too. Brian says, Skip, in my opinion, I do not think that is a problem we will solve for a very long time. Yeah, I don't, I kind of agree with that, Brian, but, at least people try. Skip says, love you guys, gotta go for now, later, guys. Skip, salute, and that is my right hand, Skip. Salute. Thanks for coming in, brother. Appreciate you being here. Okay, 3 daughters, 5 steps, and 6 grandkids. Brian, with that many kids, young, you're going to be passing me, man. I only have 4 kids, and I got 11 grandchildren. So, you got 3 daughters, 5 stepchildren. You're going to be having more than 11, probably. Probably. I don't know that for certain, but probably that's what's going to happen with that. All right, here we go. Brian, I was talking about solving poverty in general, not just the Philippines. Oh, okay, Brian. Yeah, that's a true statement then. But I'm originally from West Virginia, and back in the day, West Virginia was known in the U.S. as one of the poverty-stricken states because you get up into some of the hollers and the back of the mountains in Appalachia mountains and whatnot in West Virginia, and people that not working, haven't been working for years, living off the land, living off of each other. Yeah, it's a lot of poverty there, but there's reasons for that also, and some of those reasons are created by the people, and it could change if they chose to make a change. But sometimes change is hard for people, and they just don't want to do it, whether it's out of laziness or out of ignorance or whatever. They don't have the knowledge. That's what I mean by ignorance. Ignorant. Calling somebody ignorant isn't the same as calling someone stupid or dumb. Ignorance is just having lack of knowledge. That's what ignorance actually means. You don't have the knowledge. And that's the way it is. And some people, they don't have the knowledge. They don't have the knowledge to how to better themselves. And they're too proud to ask. In West Virginia, you got a lot of poor people, but they're also proud. Like that old cliche, we poor, but we proud. Yeah, that's West Virginia. A lot of people in West Virginia. Yeah, Brian, coal country. Yep. Black lung country. That's West Virginia. Good part of it. Not all of it, but most of it. And that's what I told people too. If I'd if I'd been brought up in West Virginia, got out of it at an early age, I probably would have been in a coal mine. There's a good chance, Some of my uncles, my dad's side of the family, let's see, he worked for the post office, and Mason, my uncle Mason, he worked for the post office. I think I had an aunt that also worked for the post office. So they're working semi-government job, and in that federal prison there, about an hour from where I was born. I wasn't there back then. That didn't come into being until I was about 35 when we activated that prison. I wasn't there, but Robert C. Byrd, that KKK congressman that we had, bleeding heart liberal congressman, but he brought a lot of money from the federal government into the state of West Virginia because it needed it. And there's what, at one time, 5 federal prisons in West Virginia. Might be more than that now. And he brought that there to boost the economy in West Virginia and give people jobs. So on that side of it, he was doing a good thing. But yeah, West Virginia has always been a poor state, but very proud people. Let me catch back up here. Yeah, James says Philippines needs manufacturing. Yep. Yeah, that's the thing too. A lot of people are thinking, oh, they need tourism is not the answer for a country. Ask Thailand. When they count on a lot of their GDP to come from tourism, you're setting yourself up for failure. And Thailand is finding that out. When COVID struck and the tourists weren't coming or they weren't allowed to come and go, that hurt. That hurt their government, their finances big time. And they talk about it here in the Philippines. Well, let's raise tourism, bring more money in. You can do that, but don't count on that as to keep your government running, or look at that as extra. So they need to be really careful about what they wish for on that. But yeah, James, more manufacturing. I also believe, Brian says, I also believe in my very limited understanding that the Spanish left a system behind that was much more prone to corruption than the English. Yeah, I don't know. James might know more about that. Yeah, I can't speak to that because I don't know. I haven't done any research or studying on that. I didn't know that was the case with the Spanish and compared to the English culture of what they left behind. Jason, need to start making stuff. They're good at it. Yeah, most of the Filipinos, they're hard work. When they're working, they're hard workers. Let's just be honest. Can't say that about all Thai people, but I have seen Thai people working hard. It used to irritate me when people, they're all so lazy. No, they're not. No, they're not. Panay Hart tuned in. Appreciate you being here. There, Jack. Appreciate you coming in. Hi, Colonel and friends. Yeah. Wow. Good to see you here. How's your channel doing? Norm. Take me home, country road to Black Lung Country. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that song now. Come on now. That's my song. I got a tattoo right here of my home. Right there. And I'm not gonna show it to you. But yeah, I got a whole tattoo right here because I was missing West Virginia and I wanted to be reminded of my roots and where I came from. So I got a tattoo here of near where I lived, near where I was born. Taken from a photo that I took. And they made the tattoo out of the photo that I took. But I tell you, we won't even talk about that. But I can't do the tattoos anymore. Brian said, which leads into systematic poverty. Hi, Panay from Norm. Oh, Globe's giving me a refund for something. I just saw pop down Globe refund. Oh, okay, cool. Panay Hart. Hi, Norm. Welcome to the party, Panay. TM saying, welcome to the party. As Bellis would say, party. Channel is good. Just got busy fighting the system here in California. No one likes to follow the law, but that's it. I'm not going to talk more about it. You say that, yeah, Panay. I mean, but you know what? You don't have to say anything. We know. Most Americans, we know about California. That's why we don't live there. God bless you for being willing to live there. Most of us, we don't want to live in California. I don't want to have anything to do with California. I know there's beautiful parts of it. And I even attempted to transfer there with the prison. I'm glad I didn't now. I could have never afforded it. I don't know other people that live there do afford it. But, it is what it is. And I'm glad the channel's good. I'm sorry you're having to fight that system, but, the only thing I suggest on that is get out of California. But it's not so easy, you got to sell your house, you got to do this, that, and the other. Financially be ready for it, moving stressful. I've moved my whole life. I've never stayed in one place for an extremely long time. I think the most I've ever lived in one place my whole life is 7 years. and that was in the. I live northeast of Philadelphia because I worked right downtown on the corner of 7th and Arch, right by the federal courthouse, and we built the federal detention center there, and I was there for about 7 years. I had two different roles. That's actually where they promoted me to lieutenant. But it is what it is, and the rest is history. Youth is wealth. Philippines owns the future. Well, James, it is if they grab on it and do something with it. But if they keep perpetuating the same cycle, it's not going to do them any good. But flattery got you. Wait, what? Bad flattery got you charged. You have to fix that, Brian. You lost me on that one. I got to change. Is that change? You have to fix that, Brian. You lost me on that one, brother. Sorry. Yeah, you lost me on that one. But yeah, I kind of with what James is saying there. If hold on a second. Let me see what he says here before I add that. Demographics is destiny. The future belongs to the youth. Filipinos have an advantage because they are English speaking, young, seafaring, and populous, which equals clout. And flat battery. Okay, you got to charge your battery. Okay, now I got you now. Okay, sorry about that, Brian. Yeah, James. But it still comes down to this. What you're saying is true, but they have to make it happen. If they keep doing the same cycle that they've been doing, that they see their parents doing, they're not going to effectuate change. I noticed the same thing in Thailand. The last election that I saw, the people, the popular vote, the people voted for a young fella, and what was it, move forward or move whatever forward move whatever the name of the political party. There's umpteen political parties in Thailand. It's crazy. But anyway, this guy, he won overwhelmingly to be. They wanted him to be the next prime minister. He was a young fella. He wanted to bring Thailand into the future and modernize a lot of things. But it didn't matter because when it went into Parliament and the military controls the Parliament, Congress, whatever they call it, and they were like, no, we're not going to let him be the prime minister. We want this person to be the prime minister. So it's like, why did you even have an election? Because if the people elect somebody and it doesn't matter, what's the point? So that's one of the reasons I got tired of that country. Of like, okay, they're never going to change because I believe this guy, he would have changed some of the immigration policy where it would have been a lot better for foreigners living in Thailand. Because I got to the point where I was like, you know what? They don't want us here. They want our money. And they definitely want wealthy people to come in and spend all their money, and then they want them to get the heck out. And I got tired of that attitude because it showed the true heart of the people, and the true heart of the people is we don't like foreigners, we're racist, and we don't want foreign people here. We want your money, but we don't want you. And I took that a little personal because I'm like, you know what? I've given so much of my money to your country and to benefit the people of this country, and that's how you look at me, and that's how you view me. You view me as a criminal, or you view me as just an object to get money from. No, thank you. Don't want that. And I don't feel that way in the Philippines yet. Brian, yeah, education. Tina says, I almost forgot to hit the thumbs up. How about you all? Yeah, I appreciate that, Tina. And doing really well on the thumbs up right now. And I was going to shut it down, but people are back, so we'll keep talking. We'll keep reading the comments and sparking the conversation. And I appreciate you guys commenting, and that helps me out because I can talk a long time, but you don't necessarily want to hear everything I have to say. But I think we can have fun with commenting on what others are saying, and we can join the conversation. And I think that's great. This is from James again. The wealth built by previous generations will belong to the kids of today. East Asia, you hope. East Asia and the West are not having kids. They will be paying Filipinos to replace the workers, the West contracepted. There's a lot of truth to that. I don't think it's going to totally go away, but I do think that the U.S. has been hurting themselves. That's why I want, pro-abortion. They want to kill all these babies and stuff. You're killing away your tax base. And the left doesn't understand that. All they're thinking about is themselves and the effect of the bad decisions they made, of how it's going to affect them personally, but they're not thinking about the future. You know, God created us and man to be able to procreate. That's our job. It's procreation. You know. Now there's a lot of people that don't like that one dude, and I know James doesn't. Ben Shapiro, but he said one time, he goes, "That's the whole object of marriage. It's to procreate. A husband and wife, you get together to procreate. That's how God made us." And you may not agree with other things that he says, and I know James can't stand him, but that's a true statement what he said. Now I think there's more to a marriage than that, and it can be a wonderful experience and whatnot. And like somebody like me, I can't procreate anymore, but I did my part. I had 4 children. I used to joke about that. Why, man? Why do you have so many kids? Well, I said because somebody needs to repopulate the earth. It might as well be the colonel. That's the way I looked at it. Boy, change the Spanish Catholic East Asia for the win. Greetings from Guam. Stephen Liz in the house. Haven't seen y'all in a while. Welcome to the Colonels Chronicles here in the morning. Gino had to shorten his live stream, so I hopped on here and we're just talking about, we started talking about coffee because I want to find out what kind of coffee everybody's drinking. I'm looking for the best coffee, but we moved on to different things and going down different rabbit holes, and that's where we're at right now, Steve. Norm, just over a month until the turboprop ban at NAI. I didn't know they were doing that. I wonder if tourism will suffer. I doubt it. Much harder to get around at smaller airports. That's true, Norm, except that most of your smaller airports now, I've seen, they're having the big jets come in. The A320s are being able to land. Now, James knows more about piloting than I do, but I've been noticing that as long as the A320s can come in there, they're going in there. I haven't seen a lot of turboprops anymore, to be honest. James is going, let's see, goes on, feminism is reducing our population, and we, America, are importing other peoples to replace them. Very dysfunctional. Yeah, and it's also culture destroying, James. It's government destroying, but mainly culturally. The U.S. they want to turn the U.S. into a country with that's getting away from the Judeo-Christian principles that it was founded on, and they're trying. You got people like Mamdani in there who's telling New York, "Hey, you need to change your religion. My religion's better than yours." Well, you know what, dude? That's your opinion. You keep it to yourself. Some of us, we don't want to hear it. But hey, I don't live in New York. There's a reason why. But yeah, feminism has been really hard on our culture in the West. Welcome, Stephen Liz from TM1. James, I agree with Ben on that, but he's wrong on free speech. I don't even know what he's saying. I haven't watched him in so long, James. I used to watch him on the regular, but I don't anymore. And honestly, it's because I've been busy doing my own TV here on YouTube. I don't get to watch some of these guys as much. Ben wants to silence people that disagree with him. Yeah, well, don't we all sometimes? We're all guilty of that somewhat. But a good, healthy conversation needs to happen. And that's I forget who said that. When the conversation starts, violence begins. I can't remember who keeps saying it, but I heard it, and I totally agree with that. Yeah, when we stop talking, people start getting hurt. And sometimes people get hurt when we're talking too, because they say things that they shouldn't say. I've experienced that personally lately. People saying things that have hurt what I'm trying to do on YouTube and whatnot, and just hurtful in general, and things that don't need to be said. I'm guilty of that myself. Sometimes my mouth gets ahead of me and gets carried away, and I say things I shouldn't say. Hopefully, I come back and afterwards and apologize for it, and am man enough to do that. But and actually mean it instead of just apologizing, but excusing my behavior and saying why it was okay. Panay Hart, I don't understand when these people will support funding abortion clinics and supporting gender transitions with taxpayer money while we are dealing with uncontrollable homelessness here in Cali. Panay Hart, let's just read what you wrote there. Nothing else needs to be said. I wholeheartedly agree with you. Anybody with half a brain, I'm not going to ridicule people like that, but someone, if you have common sense, what you just said is total logic and common sense, and it's the truth. How, in one hand, how can you support, taking away the life of all these infants? That's your tax base. And then on the other hand, and then you got all these people live. They don't. It's crazy, you know. But also, we want to talk about homelessness. That's a whole different animal in and of itself. And but a lot of that stems back to we took away the mental institutions. Now, not everybody that's homeless is mentally unstable, but I would say the majority are. They have some serious mental issues, some with serious mental issues, some with mild mental issues, but a lot of that there's underlying causes for the homelessness, which isn't just about economics. Okay, there are still a lot of jobs in America to be had. You know, um, yeah, I don't even want to get into that. I don't want to get into that about the homelessness thing, but it's it's sad, it's pathetic, and it doesn't have to be like that. But when you walk down the street, like just say and sometimes videos do lie, but if I'm watching a video and they're going down the street after a homeless caravan moved on, and there's hypodermic needles laying all over the place, condoms, whatever. Come on now, what's really going on there? Okay. Brian, good morning, General. Oh, you promoted me, Giant. Brian, thanks. Appreciate that. I wish, but nope. 3 flights for my visits now. Have to go via Cebu. Wow. Yeah, it's getting a little rough, Norm. And even for me to go over to Leyte, unless I can get one direct flight, I got to go to Manila or Cebu and then go on to Leyte. That's a hassle. It's doable, but it's a hassle. Okay. What can you say about the Philippines, sir? Well, that's all we've been talking about is the Philippines. Where you been? Philippines is a great place to live. It's not without its own problems, but that's every country. Okay? The Philippines is an awesome place to live. If I didn't love it here, I wouldn't be here. Come on now. I know what you're trying to do. But I mean this whole I'm based here in the Philippines, so everything we're talking about here is the Philippines, except when we're talking about maybe political stuff in the US or the homelessness in the US. But the rest of it, we're talking about the Philippines. Where you been? Get with the program. Really, folks, I appreciate all the comments of people, most of them, but sometimes, if you don't have something intelligent to say in the chat, just don't say anything. I mean, ask me a question about the Philippines when all we've been doing talking about the Philippines and the U.S. and whatnot. We haven't talked about Australia a lot, which is funny because most of you guys are from Australia that one here. But I don't have the knowledge about Australia to speak intelligently about it. I need to leave that to people like Norm and Stone Cold and Darren. And yeah, I don't want to talk about something I absolutely don't know anything about. Secular societies do not reproduce. That's from James. Well, that's not totally true, James, because you and I are still here. And somebody produced us, my friend. So we can't just make a blanket statement that they don't reproduce. We can't make that finite statement because it's just not true. It is paradoxical. It cannot continue. Well, and yet it still is because people are still having babies. May not be having as many, but they're still having some. So we can't just cut and say, we're not having babies anymore. Well, yeah, we are. There's people born every day in America. Maybe not as much as before, but they're still being born. Panay Hart says, many services for people with mental health issues were taken away. Absolutely. A lot of those services could have been provided, but instead many of them were cut. And reason being, too, is because people want the federal government to provide that. I'm sorry. We were never intended to be a socialist society, and the federal government, it's not their role to provide every service for the people. That's not what the American government was founded on. It's not what it was founded for. It was founded to protect the Union, and protect people's inalienable rights. It wasn't to provide mental health care for them. That's something that the individual states should be doing, and the local governments should be doing, or the local people should be doing. Now, a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that, and that's okay. But I know what James is saying. I like it when James, he makes these finite statements. Oh, this is what, well, not totally, my friend, not totally. I know where you're going with it. And you're right. You're right, James, with where you're going, but it's not 100% that way, and you know that. You fit right in here in Australia with your thinking. I don't know, man. Is that good or bad? Is that good or bad? I don't know. Let's see. Hold on. But I missed something somewhere. TM says, Hack may have just logged in and missed the previous chat, maybe. It's all good. It's all good. It's all right. You can join in. It's not a problem. Norm says, I've traveled more in the Philippines than here in Australia. There you go. So Norm's seen a lot of the Philippines. I've seen a lot too, but probably not as much as Norm. BJT's back, says hello again. Akadoko, I'm here in Manila, Philippines. If America's failed and the world is lost. Well, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying on that. And, honestly, that's a shame that it comes to that. It shouldn't be that way. Because, America, we have our own issues. We have a lot of problems in the U.S., unfortunately. I hate to say it. It breaks my heart. Even in the agency I worked for, not the average people, the employee that is working in the Department of Justice, but as a whole, there's people that love the Biden regime and Obama and whatnot, but they did so much damage, and some other presidents did damage too, and it's sad to me. I used to have the utmost respect for the Department of Justice, and I can't say that anymore. And I saw a lot of things when I was working with the FBI and other agencies, three-letter agencies within the Department of Justice that just made me scratch my head and shake my head and just like, man, we can't trust you guys? Really? It just makes me shake my head sometimes. Some of the stuff I saw that was really disconcerting and very sad to me, and in my opinion, something just wrong with what some of these agencies were doing. And it's been building, and then we come in and you get into the Biden administration where it's like anything goes, anybody can do whatever we want, we can weaponize our law enforcement and do what? Wrong answer. But I'm not supposed to be getting into politics. And I've been to Manila. I've walked around a lot of Manila, ridden around a lot of Manila. But I hear what you're saying. Hakidoko. Probably saying that wrong, and I apologize. Brian says it's both good and bad. Absolutely. Hello, Colonel. Nice to see you on live. God bless. Leo's in the house from New Mexico. Thanks, Leo. Appreciate it when you stop in and say hello. And yes, we all need God's blessings. Panay Hart says, we have federal laws that include services to help people who are struggling. The issue is how states and agencies manage to control the budget. Yeah, but should the federal government even be giving them money for them to control? If they can't control it, do they even deserve to get the money? That's a question. That's a question. And if there's corruption at the state level, i.e. California, should the federal government still be giving them money? If there's corruption, like in the state of Minnesota, should the federal government still be handing that state money to hand out to corrupt people that are then trying to take money back to their country, our U.S. dollars, that we're paid tax money, that we earn, and we're paying to fund the federal government, to fund people from a foreign country to take suitcases of money back to their country? Come on, people. All right. Brian, RE to USA. The fish rots from the head. There you go. There he is. He must have heard us talking about it. There's Stone Cold. Years ago in Australia, they offered a baby bonus, money, to have a baby, so all those that couldn't afford a nice flat screen TV had a baby. Come on, Stone Cold. Come on, Stone Cold. Um, I'm not even going to comment on that. That's funny. It's not funny, but it's funny. In one way, it's funny. In my warped sense of humor. James says America's problem lies with our dysfunctional elites. Things would self-correct, but the system is rigged against us. Let that sink in for a minute while I take a sip. Okay, 2 sips. Brian says, not many years ago either, Stoney. Yeah. So they were paying people to have babies in Australia. That's what you're saying, Stone Cold? And yeah, James, when you got the ultra wealthy people, i.e. people like, what's his face? Microsoft? No. Yeah, people like Bill Gates. Some of the foul nonsense, evil, nefarious ideas that come out of his brain, I just shake my head and I'm like, dude, you're the problem. You know, and you're perpetuating and creating a bigger problem in the U.S. Sweetheart, excuse me, I'm sorry. Okay, never mind. We had to rearrange. So, should we show them? Everybody got to see. Oh, I'm back. Evidently, you know, if you're on my live stream last night, you got to see the hand of my girlfriend, and then somebody made the comment, it's not real, he's just got a hand there. So, since she's half asleep, I did ask, but we're going to show another body part. Oh, there, oh, you saw the toes. We saw the toes at the bottom of the screen. Look at that, it's real. She's relaxing here. Actually, she's sleeping. I wish I could sleep like she does. Man, I need that sleep. Hold on, let me move this. For those of you that think that I was just faking having an imaginary girlfriend, she's real. Not ready to be revealed yet. We're doing one piece at a time. One piece at a time. She's over here grinning. James says, offering incentives to have children doesn't work historically. Only religious revival will save us from the demographic oblivion that's knocking at our door. Let that sink in, folks. That's some truth right there from the youngster called James. Yeah, the answer to society's issues, usually, James, correct me if I'm wrong, is always a religious revival. And I don't like to use the word religion, but I would like to say, but that's what they call it in history. But I would like to call it a spiritual revival, is what I would like to call it. And you call it religious revival too. But yeah, I like to look at more as a spiritual awakening, a godly awakening. Is even better. And I mean, let's be honest. You know, I would not say that our founding fathers, all of them were evangelical Christians, because they weren't. Okay, but they were, the majority of them, they were deists, and they believed in the one true God, and that's what a lot of the principles were founded on. Some weren't. Abraham Lincoln was, you know, he went along with the crowd, but he had his own ideas, you know, and he and I wouldn't agree, but I agree with a lot of things that he said. But when it came to God, I don't agree with him, but he still was a smart man. Yeah, the meek shall inherit the earth. Or in the modern English, the meek will inherit the earth. Let's see, I think did I miss something? No. Okay. Brian, a baby bonus thing. It did happen. Oh, we don't dispute that. I totally believe that. You know, because like, hey, how can we make more babies? Well, one way you make more babies is stop having abortions. You know, stop having abortions. And if you don't want to have an abortion, practice abstinence. Learn it. I mean, so you just tell people get pregnant. Oh, I'm pregnant again. Well, you know that happens, right? You know you can stop that. Yeah, come on, people. 2004 to 2012, this is from Stone Cold. Started at 3,000, increased to 5,000 Australian dollars. Wow, wow. But what happens, if you got somebody in poverty and you're offering money to have a child, so you're bringing a child into a family that's already at poverty level, and that child has needs and things that you going to have to buy to care for them. Aren't you just perpetuating the poverty cycle also? I don't know. Now, if they're looking to improve themselves and work themselves out of that, and ways to earn money to support the family, go for it. Totally go for it. But if you're just creating a situation where then they're having a child and then they're hooked onto that welfare or that social program from the government, haven't you created an even bigger problem that now we have to fund or somebody else has to fund? That's not the answer, I don't think. TM1. I believe the country of Hungary, you mean Hungary, is doing something similar and giving drastic tax rebates for each child. And the USA, new $1,000 investment fund for each newborn. Yeah, but I go back to what James said. It might look good on paper, but is it really going to work? Is it going to fix the problem? No. No. I don't believe so. Hungary, Poland, and Russia. And it's not Hungary, folks. It's Hungary, Gary, but that's just the Colonel being anal. And my thing is not Hungary. I'm hungry usually, but I'm not Hungary. But just look at it's the Hungarian people. There's an A in there. Sorry, that's the teacher in me coming out, I guess. Maybe I should have been a teacher. It comes from proofreading all these memorandums of stuff I used to get. I tell you, I hope none of my prior lieutenants that work for me, I hope they're not watching this. But I tell you what, I used to get some memos, and these are professionals, law enforcement. And I used to read some of this stuff, and I'm like, really? That's what you want to turn into your boss? I remember one time I gave and I'm pretty sure she's not watching this, not ever going to watch my channel, but I remember handed a memorandum back to one of my lieutenants, and I told her, is this really what you want to turn into your captain? I said, read that. And she read it, and she was a good person, but she got that look on her face. She says, Captain, I'll be right back. And she walked out of my office to redo that memo because she saw it. I mean, it was bad. It was really bad. And I knew that's not what she wanted to be. I knew that wasn't representative of who she was and what she wanted to present to her superiors. So I was, in a gracious way, I was trying to tell her, hey, get this. You don't know how to write. This is off. But I gave her another chance to correct it, and she did. It's not helping, according to Grok. Australia and Hungary's baby bonus did not reverse the demographic decline. But who is Grok? Who made Grok the expert? That's like before. What was it before? Snopes. And everybody, well, Snopes says this, Snopes says that. Well, who's Snopes? Who's behind Snopes? Who's behind Grok? These AIs and stuff, they're only good as the human beings that are entering the information into those systems. That's all I'm going to say on that. I don't know, I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but oh well. Oh no, it's the truth. They go for all these different social mediums and these things, this information, and they bring it all together. It's the truth. You don't know that. You only know that because they're telling you that. That Stone Cold said that's why they scraped it. Scraped it. I think he meant scrapped it. Exactly what you're saying. There you go. Stone Cold put it right out there. TM says, oops, typo on the spell. Don't worry about it, TM. I'm just, don't listen to me, man, when I get anal like that. That's just me. Glad you got the gist of my chat. Hey, that's, as long as we get the gist. I'll tell you what, man. Sometimes I get the gist. Sometimes I'm off in la la land. My brain's taking a lunch break, and I don't, you guys, and then I go back and read it. I'm like, oh, I read that totally wrong. I didn't see that for what they were trying to say. Yeah, I know what you're saying, man. Don't worry about that. I just get in these modes where I feel like correcting English, and I think that goes back to my working days. So I apologize for that. I don't mean to be offensive. Sometimes I'm offensive. I really don't mean to be, folks. I'm a little brash. Stone Cold Steve. That's my understanding. A return to the religion and nationalism is what it will take. Enforce secularism and bring religion back into the schools. Well, and for me, it's not just religion. Bring back a spiritual life. Bring back a spiritual awakening. Because religion could be anything. Religion could be money. You know, religion can be your car, can be your motorbike. Religion could be YouTube. Okay? Let's be honest. If you're so hooked on a medium or something, it becomes your religion. If you're so hooked on earning money, that can become your religion. Money becomes your religion. And or whatever, a house, keeping up with the Joneses, as we say in America, that becomes your religion. Whatever you're focusing on in your life, like for me, eating might be a religion. Whatever you're focusing on, that becomes your quote unquote religion. But I know what James is talking about. James is talking about a spiritual life, a spiritual awakening, because that's, if I use the word religion, that's what I mean. But I try not to use religion, because religion can be used for a great many different things, not necessarily for spiritual realm or for spiritual relationships. That's why I make the differentiation on it. But James is right on the he's on the right track. Grok is a quick way to check the statistics. Yeah, but who's entering the statistics, James? Do we know that whoever's entering those statistics, that they're entering the correct statistics? Could do the same with people, or could do the same with a Google search. Either way, you can check the source. Maybe, maybe not. The source is only good as the information that they're putting out. Doesn't make it accurate. James, going hard this morning. Deep breaths. And Brian. James is always going hard, man. That dude, he's a mile a minute. That's why I told him before, he's a live wire. James is a live wire. I remember telling Bellis that, oh, James is a live wire, man. But it's all good. And I tell you what, folks, I'm at the end of the page on the comments again. Oh, we got another one there. No, he's there. I put James and Karen's adventures down there at the bottom of the screen at the bottom of the screen. And for those of you that don't know James and Karen, check out their channel. They got a lot of content over there, and I like to use the word chronicle. They chronicle their life, and they vlog what's going on with them and their little travels. Oh, we got a couple more comments. I was going to get ready to shut down, but no offense taken on my part, just trying to keep the chat. TM1, I need help with keeping the chat going, man, and I'm never going to complain about that. Pushing up your numbers. Oh, yeah, any new folks, forget to hit the thumbs up like I did. I appreciate that, TM. I appreciate all the help I can get. I need to get those watch hours up. They're slowly going up by baby steps, and that's all good. Most people that know me, they know how I really feel about YouTube. But, you know, I'm a little bit competitive, and I want to be successful at it. I want to be able to say, oh, yeah, I did it. I got it done. But while doing that, let's have conversations, you know, and let's talk and let's learn from each other, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And but let's try to be honest, and let's try to be truthful, and let's not try to exaggerate about things and exaggerate about what we have going on. Let's just tell the truth about our lives, and maybe we can learn from each other and not. You know, me, so I try not to be too grandiose about my plans and what I'm doing. I try to just speak the truth in love. Sometimes it comes out like hate, but it's not meant to be. Brian said, he's like an energizer battery. Yeah, the Energizer Bunny. Yeah, that's James. Loud, man. He's always like, where are we going next? Come on, Colonel, let's go. Colonel, let's go. We're going over here. You want to go along? Nah, James, I don't know. It's okay. We're going anyway. Yeah, I love it, man. It's great. It's great. What James does is he just makes me feel old half the time, man. I was just like, man, I wish I could keep up with that dude. I just can't do it anymore. I want to, though. But you know what, folks? Thanks for everything. I can't list everybody's name that's on here because I'll miss somebody and then I'll end up offending someone, and I don't want to do that. But I appreciate each and every one of you that came in here. And there's 7 of you that are still sticking with me here. I appreciate that too. And TM says adios. All getting late in the Midwest USA. TM, thanks for you being here, brother. Appreciate all my brothers from the U.S. coming in and keeping it real with me and keeping me on track. Because I haven't been in the U.S. in years. I don't know what's going on over there, just what I see in the little clips and what. So I appreciate that. North says, take care, Colonel, and everyone. Enjoy your remaining time with your lady. absolutely. The time's wasted. She's sleeping, so I'm not missing quality time with her. I want her to rest. But I appreciate y'all being in here. Panay Heart, that's the kind of people you want to be. They have uh, they have drive every day. Bye, Colonel, and take care. Okay, folks, I'm going to shut it down for now. Over here in the Philippines, in case somebody wondered where I was, I'm in the Philippines here. I'm back in Iloilo. I'm going to have fun today in the final hours that I have with my girlfriend here, and we're going to continue our relationship and getting to know each other. And for now, oh, one more comment there. Life is good in the USA, even with its problems. There you go, TM. And you know what? Life's good in the Philippines, even with its problems. You know, and the things that go on here. It's good anywhere in the world if you want it to be. Now, there are some places that there's tragedy and there's genocide and things. This may not be good there. Okay? Let's just be honest. But there's good people everywhere. Okay? And on that note, I'm going to shut it down. The Colonel is out. God bless. And I should have said God bless first. You all take care. The Colonel's out. Until next time.